acknowledge that the hunt for gender balance cannot be achieved unless both men and women work together. WinPE takes this opportunity to celebrate our male allies who are committed to this cause and are its champions. Today, we have with us William Sean Sovak, who is a managing partner at Lighthouse Funds. Thank you, Sean, for joining us today. We are very excited and looking forward to hearing your standpoint on the event of International Women's Day.
Hi, Megha. Thank you. It's great to be here.
My first question to you, Sean, is why, according to you, gender diversity is important and for firms?
Let me take that at Megha two levels. One, there's just a very high philosophical level, right? Like we're all equal, we're all human. The world will be a better place if everything's balanced and diversified. So that's a very philosophical high level. It has to be. That has to be the end goal for all of us. But like taking it to a professional level or sort of a private equity or investment level, very practically, it's because I want to win. I want to have the best team. And to me, the best team, the strongest team is built through diversity, right? Through collaboration, you bring a different set of people together with different views, perspectives, experiences, strengths, and then that team together through collaboration, cooperation will deliver. They'll deliver alpha. They'll deliver the highest portfolio impact. And so very selfishly, I want to have a well-diversified, gender balanced team. And obviously, gender diversification is the biggest or most fundamental, right? 50-50. So I have to have that if I want to succeed. I want to have the best investment firm in India or the best investment firm globally. So to me, it's just very fundamental, very basic.
That's great to hear your views and observation on gender diversity, Sean. And I must say that's well defined. And we can see the fair representation of gender balance within Team Lighthouse as well. Moving on to my next question to you is, what was the turning point or a spark or an incident that made you aware of the challenges that still exist for gender diversity?
For me, like just sort of the importance of gender diversity, I don't think there was ever sort of an aha moment. At a very large level. I mean, if I just reflect on my own life, I had a working mother who's also very strongly present in the community. And it was just, as you grow professionally and observe over the years, like you see, like look at the percentage of women that are CEOs of Fortune 500 companies, it's just sort of obvious like how imbalanced and how broken the system is. So there's never really like one big aha moment. I mean, there were definitely small things in recent years that makes me realize that this is not just a finance or a CEO issue. Like even when Rochelle and Anshul on my team, my two women leaders, our two women leaders are trying to like recruit from an analyst pool, and you explore with headhunters, like why isn't there a deeper bench? As I do work in the social sector, and you realize in the socioeconomic pyramid how imbalanced things are, and for males and females at the bottom of the pyramid in particular. I've got two daughters, teenage daughters, and when they were toddlers, like trying to find movies or shows that had strong female character, like they didn't exist. It was actually appalling. So I think all these things are culminating and bringing me together, realize like this is not just an industry issue. This is a systemic issue and requires solutions and interventions at multiple levels. So it's not one big aha moment. I just think it's like every day is a learning and observation, like, wow, we have a long way to go. We have a lot to do.
Thank you for sharing your experience on this subject, and I'm sure a lot of people would be able to echo with it. Now, since we know that Lighthouse has a strong diversity and inclusion culture, how do you champion this cause within your firm and your portfolio companies? And would you like to, share any anecdotes that stand out from your journey?
And this one I feel a little careful about answering, because I think the best thing I can do for my team, male or female, is to really be a present and active and strong mentor and advocate, a male or female, getting the person to believe in themselves, to self-advocate, to have their voice, to work on the growth areas. I think really the way I champion it most fundamentally is just trying to be a good a good mentor as best I can. And I have limitations. Like, if anything, for Rochelle and Anshul, I would encourage them to, also seek out women mentors as they build their personal board of advisors, because I can't offer those experiences, right? It's my blind spot. I can do the best I can, but the more they surround themselves with people that have had shared experiences as mentors, I think is really, really important. Now, listen, I think it's very important, like, whether it's even with investor or a colleague or, someone from the industry, if you see people that are pushing the limit, it could be a joke, it could be a passing remark. I think it's very important. It's the small things that add up. So you always like, to call it out. I always try to be an advocate myself, to call out things that are uncomfortable. Because there's nothing, again, if you get the system and culture right, then again, the world will be a better place. It would be better, be a better ecosystem. So I see myself playing that role also. At the portfolio companies, it's, how do I advocate it there? I try to get out of the way, right? Like the best advocate for, progress and change is Rochelle and Anshul, speaking from my firm standpoint. It's like, to lead by example by doing. But I know we also have, through IFC, DEG, we have these gender metrics, turnover, just, for females amongst, but those are really good things. So, helping our portfolio companies to put on the radar screen. But again, at the end of the day, I think the best example is leading by example. If someone sees what Rochelle is capable of and Anshul is capable of, and how there's nothing better than that. Like, Sean, step out of the way, let them, take it forward.
That's really great to hear your perspective on this, Sean, and clearly commitment from the leadership levels is critical. Would you like to share some milestones or any of your achievements that you are satisfied with?
I think personally, like, again, I don't see like a milestone. Like, I don't see this as a number or as a quota. I think probably the milestone or the thing I'm most proud of is, I think, the Lighthouse culture. I think it's sort of like, it's very open. I think it's like we're all learning, like we're not perfect. We have a long way to go in this journey. Any diversity, again, it could be religion, it could be sexual orientation, it could be geographic or socioeconomic, but of course, gender is probably the biggest bucket again, but to have open conversations about this and to actually think about caring and moving forward and how we all become better at it. So again, we're not there. We have a long way to go, including myself, but I think if that, again, it's not a milestone from a number standpoint or what we're, what little things that we're doing. But if the culture is a little bit more conducive and favorable to a diverse pool of talent, then I'm proud, then I'm happy. I consider that a good milestone. I think we're there. I think we have a long way to go, but I think we've made some good steps forward on that.
Okay. That's very nice to hear from you, Sean, and thank you for sharing us your inputs. I'm sure this would be helpful for a lot of people who are watching us today. And to my last question to you now is, would you like to share some common myths and stereotypes about men and gender diversity that you would like to bust?
Yeah. This one I'm actually excited to answer, because I'm a little, worried or cautious that, there's some perception, or there could be some misperceptions that gender diversity is about making a compromise or making exceptions, and it's really not, right? It's like it's 50% of the brightest people in the world are women. 50% of the most creative people in the world are women. 50% of the most entrepreneurial people in the world are women. So there's no compromise or exception, right? It's really, if you look at the people from our industry, look at Rainika or Shivani, or if you look at Kaku at Bank of America, or Falguni, first at Kotak, and then with Nika and Naina at HSBC. There's no compromise there. These women are incredible, earth-shattering, mountain-moving leaders and business people, 1,000 times whatever I could ever dream of being. So my question really is, I think the myth is like, okay, it's not about any compromise or exception. It's really like, Sean, be reflective. Like, why am I not finding these people? What biases do I have? And that's why I want to talk about, like, sort of, stereotypes or biases. It's like, hold it, it's more me. Like, what is my bias? I think we have to be more reflective as a leader, as an employer. What is my bias? Or what is my preconceived notion or preconception about what is success, or where to look for someone, or what values. I think it's really about my learning about myself and reflecting how I'm actually the problem, or where I'm part, and I have to solve that with myself. Because again, the talent is out there, and it may not be the obvious places, And gender diversity is not about compromise, because actually, when you have a diversified team, you'll blow it off the charts. Whatever you're trying to deliver, it could be a sports team, or it could be a corporate team, or it could be a finance team, or investment results. So really, I think I have to be very reflective. We have to be reflective in our position of power, or like leadership. What can I do differently? What are my biases? Break my preconceived notions on all different levels. So I think that's really it. I think that's really. I think if we get more of that in our field, in the world, I think we're going to be off to a great start.
So true, Sean, and I completely agree with you. Team P would like to thank you once again for joining with us today. It is very good to get engagement from someone like you, and it's clear, that the investing world definitely needs some more leaders and champions like you. So,
no, listen, it's a pleasure. It's amazing the work you guys are doing. There needs to be more of it, and to get more conversation, dialogue, and it's incredible. So it's an honor to be here. I'm thrilled that you invited me.
Thank you so much, Sean, for your time.